My name is Firiniel and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you're a regular around here. Hi. Today we're back in The Sims 4 and we are rounding out our Styler Clock Challenge. We've finally finished our clock phase. We have all our little tiny home builds here. If you didn't watch the series, it'll be linked at the end of this video. Go back and watch all those. You'll get to see, especially in the first one, I explained the rules a bit more, but basically we spun a wheel each episode to find out what style we were going to be allowed to build in, and whatever one we landed on, only items in The Sims 4 that were tagged with that particular style were allowed to be used for each little tiny home. To recap, we had Contemporary, Shotgun, Boho, Island, Luxe, Vintage, Holiday, my least favorite one. We may go back and redo that one. Mission, Suburban Contempo, Shabby, French Country, and then Farmhouse, which did not have enough space to be a proper farmhouse, but it has a little thing out here for planting stuff. So technically, today's job, however, we're not going to go into any of that style stuff. We are going to try and make this cohesive. So we're going to add like a little communal area in the middle for the members of our, I don't want to say cult, but why else would you build 12 tiny homes in a circle with a communal area in the middle? We're going to build a little area for them to all come together and hang out. And, you know, so I'm thinking probably something just like that, probably with little pathways branching off to each house. And then we'll kind of decorate this. I don't really want this to be a perfect circle, but I think for a starting point, that's probably a good place to start, actually. And then, yeah, just a little something like to each door, just a little pathway. I don't want my pathways to be too straight. I know we've gone with the clock thing this entire time, but I don't want them to kind of still feel like a clock. But we'll see how we go and what we get. As I have stated in previous episodes, landscaping is not my great love, nor is it my great skill. Do you want to know what my great skill is? So do I, buddy. So do I. Let me know. So this one was the holiday style, and it's a holiday did not include any of the Christmas stuff because Christmas or Winterfest is not a holiday apparently. So it's just like Day of the Dead stuff, and it did have a table, but it ended up just being Day of the Dead and Chinese New Year. So it was very, I don't know, it's just basically a table in a room. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Should we go back and redo this? We can respin the wheel and redesign this to be one of the remaining styles. Personally, I'm team let's respin this because I hate it. It brings down the whole lot. Whereas even though this is also separate and so different styles, it kind of works in a weird, it doesn't work kind of way. But this kind of just ruins the illusion for me because it's still blue. I mean, at least with this one. So we couldn't paint this one either because Suburban Contempo had no wallpaper, but it still blends in. I guess probably the roof is probably helping a lot, whereas this one, it didn't even have a door. Like, you know, we needed more with that one. So I would like to go back, but let me know what you think. Do we adhere to the law or the wisdom of the wheel and just leave it, or do we go back? Looking a little spidery here now, but this is just the basis. This is like putting the walls down, like the outline of the walls and stuff like that to see what we have to work with. And I do know that, there you go. So I do it, as I said, I want this to be like a communal area in the middle. I don't think I want to build a structure per se in the middle, because I could go and I could do like either with some posts and have like a little gazebo thing, but I can't decide if I want to do that or not. If I was to do a gazebo, I'd probably cheap out in all honesty and probably just do one of the gazebos that I'm now not going to be able to find, but like, oh, maybe that would be okay. Let's plunk a few down. Maybe I'm talking myself into this now. Go like that. For this one, because we're trying to unify all the styles, we're just going to go with every single style. Ooh, maybe we could just have like a heap of lights. Not that. I am traumatized by this stuff. Maybe just like some little lanterns, maybe? I think these ones have lights on them, so that could light up the space as well, which would be very handy. I thought they just counted as statues. So yeah, like this sort of thing. We could put something like that down, but it's not the right shape. So I think what we'll do is we'll just ignore that. There are a couple of bonfires going on around the place, but I do kind of like the idea of a bonfire potentially being fairly central to things. What brings people together like arson, honestly. Looks a little more intentional. And then, yeah, maybe, because this one suggests that maybe it could have also been a fountain at some stage. The other thing we could do is we could do an actual fountain. So we've got this that they can hang out with. This feels like double dipping. So let's have a look at the fountains. Let's see what we've got. Colors do you come in? Well, the white one's quite pretty. That's lovely. I do like that. That, no. Just, no. Yeah, let's go with this for now. Let's see where it takes us. So I'd like to have like a few kind of really pretty outdoor furniture, like seats and stuff. And I just like the idea of, you know, this being the center of the space already, having it have like all the seats and stuff. Oh, that one matches. Okay. Congratulations. You're the chair. There you go. So it's, yeah. Ooh, there's this one. Hang on. No, this one kind of stops you from having a straight view across. Kind of like the principle with like roundabouts and stuff like that. That you're not meant to worry about what's across the roundabout because you only need to worry about what's coming to the right of you. Or the left, I suppose, if you're in America. But I don't think America has roundabouts. I don't know. But where I'm from, we drive on the left, so when you go to a roundabout, you worry about what's to the right. You still have to give way to everything that's already on the roundabout, but you only really worry. Like, to do that, you look that way, and you just don't run up anyway. I drive very, very well, as you can tell. Can I get lights on these? Because that would be... Oh, you're not going to count as surfaces? Come on! Could probably raise them up a little bit, and then I could probably just put them there. What colors do you come in? What other options do we have? Maybe these ones. Colors do you come in? Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Ooh, we can have a little pop of pink. Oh, that's the one. That's it right there. Okay, so I've gone around and I've put lights around all of the fountain. So the middle is like lovely and lit up at nighttime, which, I don't know, I find extremely exciting. These seats now no longer look the right color. A little bit frustrating, but that's okay. We're just going to plow on and we're going to ignore that. So next we need just like a ton of outdoor plants. Maybe in like a couple of these bigger areas, I might put down some bigger trees just for funsies, basically. Got some nice pink trees going on around in the area already. So you could probably mimic that a little. You could probably put one out the front there like that. Probably won't fit one quite that size inside. Oh, we could have some pre-strung lights. Okay, I don't like the strung lights. Okay, we definitely need lavender. I love lavender. I have lavender growing in my own backyard and I love it. It's one of my favorite plants. Why not? Why not give everyone their own lavender tree? Bush? Lavender bush. Except for that person, apparently. You can have one there. You can have two. Why not? Lavender. What else can we smack down? And then what else do we need? I mean, that... In all honesty, I'm already quite satisfied with that. Do I want to go absolutely crazy with rocks, though? I don't know. I admire it to no end when people go around and they will completely, like, outline all of these with, like, the sized down rocks. Like, hats off to you for having the patience to do that. I do not have that sort of patience. I have no idea how. Just how do you do it? Let's put a different one down here. I mean, I've never understood it, but it looks so good. I guess that's why, even if it's not how, that's why. And it looks so lovely. And yeah, you've probably totally never ever noticed on any of my builds that I just don't do that. I will put down rocks so a little bit to define some sort of areas. So one of my favorite ways to do landscaping, I think, is a way that Deligracy showed off on one of her videos. I don't want to change the color of that. Let's and she was basically, if we wanted to put like a garden down the back here, what she would do is she'd put a rock there, maybe a rock there, and then a rock kind of there. And basically you'd like draw a line in between those with your shrubs. So lavender, maybe a ground fern over there. Let's get some little flowers. Titties. Purple flowers. Wildflowers maybe. It probably wouldn't be as varied as this with your flowers, because if you look in like a real garden, you'd have quite a limited kind of flower variety, but it sort of gets you out of like the straight kind of flower garden areas and stuff. And this is not the best example of it, but this could become like a little area now, like a nice little escape from everything else. And we could plop down a chair here now, and we've got a lovely area. If we maybe add some height at the back of it, it's just like a little, it's a little garden. It looks fairly natural there, and that's especially helped out by the rocks, and you can finesse them and stuff, but it's like a basic kind of starting place for doing this. It's quite a lovely little way to do it, and I've really liked it. So that's how I started with my landscaping, and then I just did not progress very far from that, because again, I like doing the houses. I love doing the houses, and I will finish them off, but I guess very much like a builder in real life. I do the house, I give you maybe a little flower outside, but that's it. After that, you're on your own. Not a landscaper. And I have no aspirations to be a landscaper, but we try, and we try again. You need a fern, and then, oh, we might need to shove in a couple of party bushes, just because a couple of these houses, especially this wolf one, doesn't have a toilet. So actually maybe this can form part of the back of that. Yeah, that works. This one doesn't have one either. I don't know what I want to do with over there yet. I'm kind of focusing on the inside though. I feel like I'm quite happy with this actually. I like that. We just need to add like some incidentals and stuff around the place. Ooh, a hedge? I think kind of a hedge really makes sense anywhere. I don't want to detract too much from the fronts of the houses. Like, feels a little bit like cheating, but I do think that spot right there would benefit from a hedge. Having said that, I do feel like plants are the answer to most problems. But it's finding the right plants that's the issue. Maybe fern can go over here. Ooh, bougainvilleas! And one thing I do love doing with the bougainvilleas on this is I love getting the Napuaka? Where is it? Nupaka? And I just sort of like, you know, it's bougainvillea that hasn't flowered yet. And I know that's not really bougainvillea's kind of thing, but I like doing it. And I feel like it looks nice. Plus, any excuse to have more bougainvilleas, right? Oh, we need a swing set. That's what we need. I mean, we have a swing set, but another one over here would be nice, because the one over here is technically the boho one. But if we get another one over here under this tree, how pretty would it be? Maybe not that one. Maybe we just get the same swing set. We just sort of put it there like that. There we go. We've got like a little area out here now. So it's something that would get the group together. Actually, you know what we could do for now? As soon as we're using plants, and we don't like this. I feel like that just draws attention to it. Like, hey, Look at this thing we're trying to hide. Alright, let's see if we can shove an activity, like what I was saying. It makes sense that that tree's been fallen down. Oh, we gotta have like chicken coop. Actually, now that we have like the agriculture kind of area back here, let's put a chicken coop back there. Oh, we could have a rabbit stump as well. Let's put the rabbit stump around here. Again, that tree's been, you know, knocked down because this tree was prettier. Progress, progress. Oh, sprinkler! Oh wait, we need the sprinkler over here. Like that. Excellent hack for making sure your crops stay watered. And just shoving those in the middle there, because you can just turn them on and off. You don't have to tell your sim to go water them. It's great. Oh, you gotta have the water balloon bucket. I guess maybe not near the luau space. Maybe over here. If we move the fern and the lavender back, the bucket can kind of go there. What color does the bucket come in? Red bucket. Oh, does the green bucket blend? Yeah, let's have the green bucket. Ooh, rare plants. I did really want an animal shed, but I think we could have an animal shed back here. It can just be a free roaming cow or llama. We might set up another little like garden area over here just to, oh, I mean, you like a little selling table down the front here. So they're like off grid and stuff and they're their own little commune, but they sell stuff. I do like the idea of it being like a homemade kind of dealio. It gels with like the mishmash kind of vibe. We'll set it back a bit, take up a bit of space. Ooh, a food stand. This is right near that person's toilet. Sorry. Resistance tent. Oh, we need one of these. Maybe over this side, so we're just doing stuff a little further away from that person's poor outdoor toilet. Shove that there. Oh, knick-knack and bric-a-brac sells thing. Maybe we can have this as well. Food in the back there, little table, and then the little crazy man stuff can go right on the corner there. And that's how they make money, you know? That's how they keep money coming in. Ooh, craft store. Maybe that makes more sense than the food stuff. Or we could have both. Ooh, maybe this for the food stall, actually. Food, craft, random things. Maybe we should put an outdoor toilet here then. You know, this is where they entertain. Ooh, take out market stand. Ooh. Rice to meet you. I love me a good pun. Okay, and then what we need is we need to go back here and we need to go to some plants. And maybe this is the spot where we put, I'm just so, you know, average Joe that's sort of, or maybe a fence might make more sense. Just for a little bit of privacy, because you don't want people coming feeling like they're welcome to just come onto the commune just because they're looking at the market stall. Just to sort of divide it off just a little bit. Let's go back and have a look at some toilets though, because I'm still kind of liking the idea of having a little, oh yes, just a single toilet right there. Maybe actually it goes here. Like over here actually, so it's not near the food. And then there's a gap in this that leads to it. These are all way too far forward now. Let's move them back just a smidge. We've got like a nice little defined sort of space, but it's not like here, over here. But it's like a really gross toilet, so people don't want to stay, you know. What else can we do for our landscaping? Oh, we definitely need like the multiple mailboxes. I know we had individual mailboxes, but we definitely need multiple mailboxes. So we might put those up here near the front. Kind of divides off this person's house a little bit as well. Okay, what colors do you come in? Oh, I like how scungy that one is. Yeah, let's go with the green. Doesn't stand out so much, and it's kind of, it's a little bit gross, but yeah, there we go. And then we need like a dumpster, which is this guy. We'll get the green, gross kind of one, and we'll put it just there because this is where all the residents take their trash. And I feel like we just need some of these. Let's actually make it nighttime so we can see. I actually feel like this is feeling pretty good, especially considering how much I despise landscaping. I mean, I'm using these things for crying out loud. Now you know what we need? We need the flamingo. Flamingo! Just a couple of like random flamingos dotted around the place just for funsies. We'll have one back here. We'll have one over here. One there. And then it'll be like spot the flamingo for kids. Oh, there's a rubber duck, isn't there? We can put a rubber duck in the fountain. That looks pretty good, like he's floating to me. There you go, little rubber ducky. We could, I don't know, that won't work. Oh, duck security is like, what has that got to do with being a duck? Oh, that could have been a cool touch. Could have put like a secret underground vault. We'll do free range cows. I mean, this is not really the location. I probably should have done this on the big lot in Henford on Bagley, come to think of it, but that's okay. We do need some more lights outside here because you can't see anything here. There we go. I was going to do a garden over here. I do this every time. Face you that way. And if we put like a little garden, nope, I was already in the garden section. Little kind of garden just behind it. Wrong button. Just to sort of make it a little bit private. Let's get the big lavender. Yeah, why not? Let's have a ground fern over here. Yeah, let's have a jalapa plant. Why not? We've earned it. Some daisies maybe. Shagalicious. If ever there was a time for a couple of these, now is it. Let's do it like they're giant lavenders. Put you in a jaunty kind of angle, and we'll move the bird feeder back as well. Lovely little romantic area looking out at the little longboat over there. Longboat? I don't know what those are called, but it's a longboat now. I'm going to leave that part there. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. How would you have landscaped this to make it more a cohesive little commune? And thank you for joining me for this. This was a really fun series. If you have ideas for more series, also leave those down below because I like having a series. I like having like an end goal and then reaching it and stuff. It makes it a little bit more, I don't know, fun for me to do. So let me know if you have any ideas for those down below. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next one.